Hi, good afternoon. My name's Mary Ellen Rogalski. I'm going to call to order the Orange County Industrial Development Agency meeting for October 8th, 2020, which is today. Before we get started, I would like to welcome our newest member, Denise Quinn, who joins us. This is your first meeting, right, Denise?
It is.
And Denise is a mortgage banker and also the supervisor of the town of Wayanda, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So welcome. Nice to have another girl on the board.
Why, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a roll call. So Eddie Diana,
Here.
Mr. DeSalvo,
Present.
okay, Mr. Brescia,
Here.
Mr. Gatos,
Here.
Mr. McCary,
Here.
Ms. Quinn, we already know you're here.
Yep.
And then we have our executive staff, Lori Villacizo, Vinnie Cozzolino, Melanie Schouten, and Edward J. And also our two attorneys, Kevin Down and Russ Genzel. Welcome, everybody. So first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. First up for the September 10th, 2020 board meeting. Anybody have any questions or comments with respect to the minutes?
Motion.
Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain. Did somebody give me a motion?
Yeah, I did.
All right, thank you. And
Second.
thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes. Aye.
Okay, thank you. And then next up, after that is the September 10th Audit Committee meeting minutes. Any questions or comments regarding those? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept them as presented.
Motion.
Thank you. Any second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, next up is the financial reports and/or requests for payments.
All right, starting with the first chart on cash, there's 6.1 million we have on cash available in the IDA without the business accelerator. Going into the IDA spending, we had $17,000 or 18,000 last month, nothing unusual. Third chart is the income and expense for the accelerator. 175,000 was spent. Again, nothing unusual on that one. Next chart is the statement of net assets. Okay, there's nothing, basically similar to last month. No large change of from receivables. And going right to the, we got receipts in the request for payments. We did receive $33,000 from the SUNY Orange for the grant repayment. That's things. This is next to last annual payment. And then on the vouchers, I guess we have, there's the TSEC third quarter agency. Most of the rest are the monthly bills we usually get, and then the 25,000 to Focus Media for the contribution to the Wall Street Journal advertisement. So asking for 58,000 and change for approval to pay.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for payments as presented.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So then we have the chairman's report, and I have nothing to report. So we'll go to the CEO report.
Okay, I almost did the dreaded talk on mute. Okay, the first thing, Mary Ellen, I will kick it back over to you if you wanted to. I know because we have a new member, every time we get a new member, we jostle the committees around a little bit. It's really in the interest of sparing some of your time because we have most of our members sitting on all of the committees. So now that Denise has joined us, you get to share in the joy of the extra committee meetings. And did you want me to go through them, Mary Ellen? And
Yeah, sure, thank you.
So the chairman's appointments for the committees, and we will send out a note to everybody just so you have it. For governance committee, going forward, it will be Eddie Diana as chair, Mike Gatos and Jamie DeSalvo. John McCary, you'll be the alternate on governance. On the audit committee, Jim DeSalvo is the chair, Eddie Diana and Michael Gatos are the members. Denise will be the alternate for audit. For the accelerator committee, going forward will be Eddie Diana as chair, Mary Ellen Rogalski and Denise Quinn, with Brescia remaining the alternate. That moves John McCary over to our finance committee. Finance committee is Jim DeSalvo chair, John McCary now, and Michael Gatos. The alternate being Eddie Diana. The finance committee, by the way, primarily would be in the position to make approvals for grants, loans, or anything that is in the existing legislation or legislation going forward. The COVID-19 Resiliency Committee, Loan Resiliency Committee stays unchanged with Mary Ellen as chair, Jim DeSalvo and Ed Diana, and the Human Resources Committee stays unchanged with Mary Ellen Rogalski as chair and Mike Gatos. Any questions?
Okay, great. Thanks,
I will
Laura.
send that out to everybody. The next, it's a very quick report today from the IDA's perspective. The accelerator has been very busy, but as you can imagine with the state of the world right now, the IDA has been a little bit quiet. We did devise a new board member packet. A board member packet now comes with all of the fiduciary duty acknowledgements, the PAAA and para legislations, the training requirements, oath of office requirements, the enabling statute from the general municipal law, copies of all of the applications and approval matrices. Denise Quinn was the first to receive it, so I'm sure it was another sheer delight to get through all of those documents.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's we're trying to streamline now. So as new members come on, rather than kind of piecemealing, we have Melanie working with Kevin put together a really great sort of welcome packet to make sure that all of the information is out there, bylaws, so on and so forth. We are meeting again today remotely because the governor extended the executive order to allow remote public meetings, signed and authorized through November 3rd now. In the paper, I'm sure that everybody has noticed recently that Brian Lynchies has put the castle up for sale. There are a number of articles in the Times Herald Record, and I believe in also Mid-Hudson News about that. Doesn't necessarily mean anything for us right now, but it's first of all, it's a sign of our times. And he was very clear that one of the reasons that he is putting it up for sale is because he feels like his hands are tied in terms of reopening, and it's become a challenge for him to keep the business afloat. It will mean something for us, however, if he does ultimately sell the building, because there is an existing agreement with them. So they would either want to assign that to a new owner should someone else come in, or terminate altogether. We will, of course, keep everybody posted. Two big things happened at last month's meeting where we discussed a potential recapture. First, a recapture from the Sentinel, which is in Port Jervis. It's the assisted living facility. Kevin's been working pretty closely with the team at the Sentinel and sent a letter there with formally requesting recapture, or formally requesting a check for the recaptured funds, which is what they exceeded from their sales tax limit. And we also discussed at length last month the potential letter to Craftify, whose agreement with us has now terminated, but we are going to send them a letter, and that we will send out tomorrow. Lastly, the Accelerator and the IDA hosted the Hudson Valley Women's Leadership Conference. Again, this is our third annual conference. We had 200 attendees. It was a 3-day, over 200 attendees. It was a 3-day conference. Melanie was able to pivot from an in-person conference that we usually have at the Culinary Institute or at some large venue to fully remote Zoom-based conference. And I have to tell you that it was probably one of our best ever. It was really embracing sort of the times as we are living through them now. It was about empowered by change. We've all been through a lot of change lately. So we had the 3 days worth of conference. All of those videos are now on our website, on our main website, ocnyida.com. So you could go back and see the presentations that were made. There was leadership from the inside out, goal setting, refining the power of community, and mindful self-care as leadership strategies. So it was a really, I would say, well-rounded and well put together conference. Melanie did an excellent job. Melanie and Dean worked together for all of the collateral. It has a beautiful website for that conference by itself. So they did a fantastic job. All of that is on our website, available for any of our members to watch now that it is behind us. And other than that, I don't have anything else unless anyone has any questions for me.
Okay, thanks, Lori. Next up is the Accelerator Report. So, Eddie, you want to take that away? Or
Well, let Vinny do it.
okay.
We get through the whole agenda. There's a couple we put off, and we're going to have a special meeting in the next week or two. But there was a couple of discussions. I think the important part is about the CBD facility in Warwick, and Mike Sweeten was on with us. So Vinny, why don't you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Okay. I'll start with, we gave a quick overview of the Accelerator, health of the Accelerator program, which is Accelerator Plus Accelerator Without Walls. And we have about 170 or so jobs open right now we're trying to fill. And we're having a real hard time, our company's having a real hard time finding staff. We've reached out to the New York State Department of Labor today, and we're trying to do something different, something more imaginative to see if we can't bring people to the table to apply for jobs. Very hard to believe that we have an 8% unemployment rate or more, and yet we don't have, and we have these jobs open that we can't seem to fill. So some would say it's a good problem to have, but I could tell you that very soon, if we can't solve it with people, we're gonna have to outsource those that work from our local companies to other companies that can find staff. So it's a very important problem for us to solve. We had a focus today on our CBD cluster, which is something that Eddie and Mary Ellen have been concerned about, as all of us made a huge investment in that. We're just ahead of our time. If you remember, New York State regulations on CBD became forbidding for our entrepreneurs to actually do business in New York State. They've been hanging on by a thread, including the farmers that grew the hemp. And fortunately, though, here we are about a year later, and there's new regulations that are making their way through New York State government. And in fact, the regulations are complete. There's agreement in the Assembly and the Senate to pass them. We're simply waiting for the governor's office to push them forward. That legislation comes forward, it enables a deal that's already been scripted, and preliminary contracts have been created that would put back to work the factory in Warwick. That would allow us to complete that factory and allow 7 farmers to sell their stock to the end customer, which is a Fortune 500 kind of company. So we're pretty excited about that, but we really need to get that regulation going forward. The chair of the Agriculture Committee in the Senate is Senator Jen. She's also the senator for Warwick. And so we've put it on her shoulders to try to shepherd this through. We have our lobbyists working on it and a big coalition of people. That CBD project comes through. We expect around February of next year to be able to recoup our $2.1 million investment through the town of Warwick. Town of Warwick supervisor Mike Sweeten came to commit that to the Accelerator Committee. Eddie, is that good for the CBD update?
Yes, Vinny, that's very good.
Okay. I don't know, unless there's any questions, I'll leave it there, I think.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll move along. The next item on the agenda is board committee reports as needed. I don't know that we need any other ones. No, we're good. Okay, so then next up is the resolutions, which is Fairbanks Manufacturing LLC, an assignment and an assumption.
Right, so Fairbanks Manufacturing is also known, or was also known as Medora Snacks. They make the popcorners. They have a facility in the town of Wallkill / Middletown, and they were acquired by PepsiCo and their subsidiary Frito-Lay. So Frito-Lay completed the acquisition of BFY Brands, which included Fairbanks Manufacturing. So they would like to transfer the property title and any associated documents. There is a pilot on that property. Would just transfer that to Frito-Lay. So that is what is before you today.
And I say good for them.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions or discussions? Okay, hearing none, then I guess we'll move forward with the resolution, Mr. Dowd.
Sure. Resolution authorizing the Orange County Industrial Development Agency to execute all necessary documents in connection with the conveyance of the project and the project documents to Frito-Lay Dip Company, Incorporated.
Okay, need a motion and a second? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Quinn,
Yes.
Mr. McCary,
Yes.
Mr. Gatos,
Yes.
Mr. Brescia,
Yes.
Mr. DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mr. Diana,
Yes.
Chairwoman Rogowski.
Yes.
7 ayes, Madam Chairwoman, the resolution's adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other business that needs to come before this fine board? Okay, hearing none, then I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Thank you. Noting the record time of 16 minutes.
That was
That
probably
is
the
a-
quickest ever. Eh?
I think
Yeah, don't get used to this, Denise.
Denise joined at the right time, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we're moving on.